Said that he would be a fierce advocate for gay rights, but so far he hasn't delivered on one of his biggest promises to the gay and lesbian community, and that is repealing the military's controversial Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy that forbids gays and lesbians in uniform from serving openly. For more, let's bring in Aubrey Sarvis with the Service Members Legal Defense Network and Lieutenant Dan Choi of the Army National Guard. He's an Arab linguist who is facing discharge after he came out of the closet. Dan, let's start with you. The president promised, as we said, to make Don't Ask, Don't Tell a priority of his administration when he was a candidate. A lot of folks were expecting that there would be some movement on it early in the presidency. We're now 9 months into it and nothing. He's not even really talking about it. How are you feeling about all that?
Well, John, it wasn't a promise just to the gay and lesbian community. It was a promise to the entire nation. Because when you're kicking out Arabic linguists and needed soldiers and service members in a time of war, you hurt the entire national security. You hurt the entire nation. You hurt the entire unit.
Aubrey Sarvis, where is Congress on all of this?
Well, John, over in the House, we're doing just fine under the leadership of Congressman Patrick Murphy of Pennsylvania. 176 House members have co-sponsored H.R. 1283, the bill to repeal Don't Ask, Don't Tell. In the Senate, I think we're on the brink of a bill introduction with leadership coming from members of the Senate Armed Services Committee.
Without the support of the president, though, without him leading the charge, can you really get anything done?
Well, the president has said he's committed to getting this done, and we're looking for him to provide more specifics and a timeline, hopefully this weekend here in Washington.
All right, yes, there's that big rally, and the president will be making a speech to the Human Rights Campaign on Saturday. We'll talk about that in just a second. But, Dan, back to you. The president's got, well, he just won the Nobel Peace Prize this morning. He's got a lot on his plate. The economy, 2 wars, Iraq, Afghanistan. He's got what's going on in Iran, North Korea. Is now the time to wade into Don't Ask, Don't Tell for him, particularly when you look at, historically, it didn't turn out too well for the Clinton administration in the early going.
Well, I hear what you're saying, John, and you're saying that there's so many things that are going on. But let me translate that. Essentially what people say when there's so many other things that are on the plate, that means gay and lesbian folks, you can wait. America, you can wait to have people that are discriminated against enjoy the full benefits of citizenship. And the president has respect all over the world and in our country. Well, what kind of a message is that to the rest of the world where we can have different classes of citizens? How long should we wait to serve our country in a time of war, to have all of those rights bestowed and conferred? How long do we have to wait for that dignity? I would say that as citizens, we have a responsibility not to wait, to speak up. Right. And silence, for me, as a soldier, is not a strategy.
Aubrey, is there any way to measure quantitatively what the effect of waiting is on the military?
Well, we know that 13,500 service members have been discharged since Don't Ask, Don't Tell was enacted. We know that more than 4,000 service members leave every year because of this law. So, yes, there has to be a sense of urgency about this. This military cannot afford to lose the 65,000 LGBT service members on active duty and in the reserves today. So we need the Congress and we need the president to partner and come together with a sense of urgency to get this done. We can get it done in this Congress, but it will require leadership and it will require a partnership between the Congress and the White House.
Dan, you're an Arab linguist. Things are being sort of wound down in Iraq, where you really would have been of service to the military. But I think the last time we talked, you said you were also beginning to learn, it was either Pashto or Dari, which would have made you effective in Afghanistan. With the president now considering an appeal from General Stanley McChrystal to send 40,000 more troops into Afghanistan to try to turn things around there, how important are people with skills like yours?
Well, obviously, it was extremely disappointing to get the letter saying that the Army was going to discharge me, as I was right in the middle of my classes, just trying to learn some of the basics. And it's really disappointing, particularly to the people that were in my unit, and we were trying to learn some of the basics all together. So really what you look at and what you have to see is the devastating effects, not just for the service member that's discharged, but for the unit that now has to deploy without those capabilities.
Right.
And it's for me, it's been quite a crazy year, coming out of the closet to my parents and to my friends and to people, all around me. And I know that when you come out, when you make that step, when you sign up, just as we signed up to serve our country and put our country first, we take that step because we know there are other people that need to hear that message. I just heard a couple of days ago from my dad that he accepts me as his gay son, and he's a Southern Baptist minister. We have to step up, whether, as soldiers or as citizens or people in our families, and step up to do the right thing and make our message known.
A very important step even in your own family. Dan, Choi, good to talk to you this morning. Aubrey Sarvis, thanks very much. And of course, we'll be watching the president's speech tomorrow at the Human Rights Campaign. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks,
I appreciate it. All right.